Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Best Buddies Connecticut Local Leadership Training Day. This part of the training, we will be talking about officer accountability. For the next 45 minutes, Sophie and I will be here to help you all learn to work through any foreseeable problems that you may face and provide you with advice along with some resources to help you work through any of these possible problems.
Hi guys, this is a super important training in which we will review all sorts of topics ranging from miscommunication to holding individuals accountable to reviewing steps of actions as an officer. Before we get going, we would love for you to get to know your peers by taking part in a fun icebreaker that Margo and I put together for you all. All right, so here we are. Please take the time to answer one of the following questions. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received? Who is the most interesting person you have ever talked to? Or finally, what is your favorite Best Buddies memory and why did it make you so happy? Please discuss with your peers around you and we will quickly pause our presentation to do so.
Hi again, my name is Margo. I live in Willimantic, Connecticut. I am a part of the Best Buddies Eastern Connecticut State University's chapter. I am a Best Buddies Connecticut State Ambassador. Currently, I am an incoming co-chair for the Best Buddies Young Leaders Council. I oversee these 4 initiatives: mental health and wellness, toolkit, expansion support in underserved communities, and jobs program. When I'm not busy hanging out with Sophie, working with other members on the council, I like to spend time with my best buddy, Natalie. Natalie and I were matched last year, which was hard because it was during the pandemic, but I am forever grateful for her friendship.
Hi again. My name is Sophie Fultrum. I'm a second-year member of the YLC, and I work on the Ambassador Initiative, the Mental Health and Wellness Initiative, Mission Expansion Support, and I write for the YLC blogs. I'm a part of the Best Buddies Massachusetts and Rhode Island chapter. However, I'm here today to help out my friend Margo. A little bit about myself. I'm 20 years old and I study psychology, sociology, and biology at Providence College in Rhode Island. I've been in Best Buddies for almost 10 years now, and I'm currently serving on the board for my college chapter. I've been the chapter president at both my middle school and my high school. My senior year of high school, we won the chapter of the year, and that remains a highlight to this day. I think much of the reason that we won that was due to the strong communication and expectations that my officer and exec team worked with, which reassures the importance of today's session.
Who and what is the YLC? The Young Leaders Council is a diverse group of individuals of all abilities who bridge the gap between the student perspective and staff experience for Best Buddies International initiatives. We conceptualize, design, and execute unique initiatives that apply to all aspects of the Best Buddies ecosystem: friendship, leadership, jobs, and inclusive living. On this slide, we have lots of links made available to you all. However, these links are also found on our Instagram page. If you are interested in applying, talk to your program manager who will get you in touch with one of us. Come with great ideas and plans. So far, my experience on the YLC has been an amazing journey so far, and I continue to learn and grow, especially through my role as an incoming co-chair.
To get us started, we want to highlight the faults of miscommunication. By definition, miscommunication is when someone fails to adequately communicate. This leads to confusion, misunderstanding, and disagreements. However, miscommunication can be avoided, so let's discuss some short-term and long-term solutions for dealing with miscommunication. Some examples of miscommunication are lack of direction, confusion, non-individualized communication, lack of expectations and follow-through, lack of talking, making assumptions, or being scared to ask questions. The list goes on. Short-term solutions would be placing a reminder to your officer board what their roles and expectations are. Do not be afraid to remind someone that, for example, if they're the secretary, they need to be sending out the emails or keeping attendance. When an officer is rewarded a position, they must continue to prove themselves with their work ethic. Another option would be hosting open conversations. Sometimes miscommunication stems from mental health struggles. Therefore, be there for someone who needs help. Sometimes we are quick to jump to the worst situation, but maybe the lack of communication is coming from elsewhere. Finally, another short-term solution would be having independent meetings with your board members. This will make everyone feel more comfortable, but also provide a private space where no one will feel embarrassed to ask questions or even be hit with some loving criticism. Long-term effects means taking action on the lack of communication. This could entail rearranging the executive board or adding or reducing committees to share the workload more. Another option could be sending out an anonymous survey to gather information about why the communication does not seem to be working out. These are just a few options. However, an officer board will only thrive when all the members keep an open and direct line of communication.
How to keep fellow peers accountable. Accountability is a very important tool in chapter leadership or officer team. By definition, accountability means the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. Holding a fellow officer responsible for their actions is important. For example, if Sarah is consistently late for meetings, it makes it hard to hold a meeting when you would have to backtrack and go over what was already said. Delegation is also very important. You are not expected to do everything yourself, nor should you have to. Providing each member with a particular task will delegate the responsibilities and provide a successful outcome. Don't be afraid to hold another peer accountable.
Holding officers accountable can be tricky, but it is highly important, necessary even, in having a successful chapter. It can feel awkward telling people that they're falling behind on their work or not pulling their weight. However, there are many ways to do so while being a supportive friend. When an officer is rewarded his or her or their position, it comes with much responsibility. Sometimes it can be easy to take the title and feel comfortable with the title, that you fall back on your work. We want to avoid this. It is very important you keep up with your responsibilities. Please review the officer role's expectations if you need a reminder on what your role responsibilities are. If an officer is falling behind, it can help to have contracts signed at the beginning of the year. That way, you can remind your officer that they signed up for a commitment and had the expectation outlined for them early on in the year. Also, if this is a recurring problem, an officer mark system works well. If someone is consistently not doing their part, they can be given a mark or strike, to which if they receive 5, they cannot run for another role the next year.
As we've said before, for a chapter president to decide whether they are going to utilize the marks, then make sure each peer member is aware of what that particular system means. For example, you will let them know that if they fail to fulfill a task 3 times, then that results in a warning. If they get 5 marks, then that means they will not be allowed to run for an officer position the following year. The next step would be, if you are continuing to have consistent problems with an officer, alert your program manager. Your program manager should be aware. If you have an advisor, they should be both aware of the problem with said officer member and if any officer marks were given. Privacy is key. When you are having a conversation about officer marks given, it should stay between you, the individual, and the advisor.
As officers, it is easy to want to hold all of your responsibility. However, remember that you have a chapter advisor and program managers there for help and guidance. Steps of action should be acknowledging the issue at hand. Once you realize that there's a problem, ask for help and advice from your advisor. If nothing happened when you did that, move up and ask the program manager or another faculty member at your school. There are many people here to help you, and you should never feel overwhelmed with other people not following through with their responsibilities.
When assigning jobs, give your officers a 2-week notice, a week minimum. When giving out jobs or sending emails, be sure to include a 24-hour response rule. When addressing a problem with an advisor, do not wait longer than 2 to 3 days before letting them know.
Ultimately, we want to remind you that you are here for a reason. You're all amazing leaders with a strong passion for best buddies and social advocacy, and that in itself is successful. We want to thank you for taking the time out of your days to better your understanding on how to become a better leader. You are making best buddies even better, which who knew that was possible, and you are becoming a voice of change, and that in itself is special.
Thank y'all for listening to our presentation today. Always remember that y'all are loved and y'all matter. Have an awesome year ahead.
Finally, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us on the YLC. You can email us or message us to our Instagram page @BestBuddiesYLC. If you want to talk to either Margo or I, DM the Instagram account and ask for us, and we will reach out to you then. Best of luck with everything. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again.